They say demons walk among us, hiding in shadows, watching, waiting for the perfect moment to enter a weak soul. Hannah never believed in demons. She laughed at horror movies, saying they were just special effects. But one rainy evening, everything changed. Hannah had just turned 16. Her friends threw her a birthday party at her house, but after they left, she felt empty. Looking for something to do, she grabbed her phone and went for a walk, despite the rain pouring down heavily outside. As she walked down the old forest road, she noticed an abandoned stone church, half hidden behind giant oak trees. She had never seen it before, though she had walked that path hundreds of times. Its windows were broken, the wooden doors rotten and slightly open. Driven by curiosity, Hannah walked up the mossy steps. She hesitated as she felt an icy chill seeping out of the entrance. Pushing the door open with effort, she stepped into the dark, damp church. The smell of mildew, wet stone, and decay filled her lungs. She coughed, covering her mouth with her hoodie sleeve. The inside was dimly lit by the faint glow of the storm outside. Broken pews were scattered across the stone floor. Torn hymn books lay soaked in puddles. At the far end, the altar stood cracked and blackened by age. As she moved closer to the altar, she felt a sudden heaviness in her chest. It became harder to breathe, but she forced herself forward. There, behind the altar, she noticed a small wooden box, sealed shut with dark, melted wax. Strange symbols were carved deeply into its surface. She reached for the box, her fingers trembling slightly. The wood felt colder than ice. Without thinking, she pried it open. Inside lay a stone, pitch black with thin red cracks glowing faintly, almost like lava under the surface. As she touched it, a low growl echoed through the church. She spun around, heart pounding in her ears. "Hello," she whispered, her voice shaking. But no one answered. Only silence, then a faint whisper like a dying breath, saying her name. "Hannah." The whisper came again, louder this time, echoing from every wall. She dropped the box, stepping back in panic. Suddenly, she felt her legs give out. She fell to the ground, the world spinning around her. Darkness swallowed her vision. When she woke up, she was lying on her bed, soaked to the bone, muddy footprints leading from her door to where she lay. Her mother stood over her, confused and worried. "Hannah, how did you get here? Your shoes, your clothes?" Her mother whispered, tears in her eyes. But Hannah didn't answer. She just stared at the ceiling, eyes unblinking, lips slightly parted. That night, Hannah didn't sleep. She sat on her bed, staring into the darkness. Her eyes glowed faintly red under the moonlight. From that day, she began to change. At school, she no longer spoke to her friends. She sat in the back corner, scribbling strange symbols into her notebooks. Her teachers tried to talk to her, but she just stared at them blankly, a cold smile twitching at the corners of her lips. At home, her mother heard her whispering at night. At first, she thought Hannah was talking in her sleep, but one night as she passed by her room, she heard a deep masculine voice answering her daughter back. Terrified, her mother opened the door slowly. There sat Hannah, cross-legged on her bed, eyes rolled back into her head, whispering in a language her mother didn't understand. Shadows moved around her, dancing on the walls without any light source. Her mother screamed and called the priest immediately. The priest arrived the next morning, clutching his Bible and holy water tightly. As he entered Hannah's room, she hissed at him, her pupils turning into thin black slits. "Leave, she is mine," the voice said from Hannah's mouth, though her lips barely moved. The priest began to pray loudly, splashing holy water onto her forehead. Hannah screamed, her body arching violently off the bed, fingers clawing at the air. The walls shook with each verse the priest read aloud. 4 hours, prayers and screams echoed through the house. Neighbors gathered outside, crossing themselves, afraid to enter. Finally, as dawn began to break, Hannah let out an ear-piercing shriek that cracked the mirror across her room. Her body fell limp, her eyes closing softly. When she woke up, her mother was crying over her. Hannah blinked, confused. "Mom, what happened? Why are you crying?" Her mother hugged her tightly, sobbing into her hair. Hannah didn't remember anything. The priest warned her mother never to let Hannah near that church again. They moved away a month later to a different city, hoping to leave the darkness behind. But sometimes, late at night, when Hannah looks into her mirror, she sees a tall shadow standing behind her, smiling with glowing red eyes, whispering her name, waiting for the day it will return. If you want more terrifying stories like this, subscribe now before the demon finds you tonight.